Shalom, shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Israel with another Sabbath Day class from the School of Knowledge of the Nation of Yehudah and the Yehudah Project. We say thank you for joining us this evening on this beautiful Sabbath class. We look forward to what we're teaching. This week we're going to start the civil law. We're dealing with the laws that Israel is supposed to keep. And in order to do that, we give everyone, we usually have a PowerPoint presentation. If you have any questions or anything like that, you won't hear a lot of interaction right now, but the people will begin to give their thoughts, and then we'll go from there. We hope you enjoy the class as it's in session. All right, so we're dealing with the civil law today. The civil law. We're going to deal with Exodus chapter 21 first. This is very important, Exodus chapter 21. If you all cannot see the screen, please get your Bibles and follow along with us as we go through Exodus chapter 21. I'm going to stop at certain sections and ask if anyone has any questions, and then we're going to open up the lines, and everyone will have an opportunity to ask their questions and go from there. All right, here we go. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Exodus chapter 21, verse 2. I think I said 21. Let me make sure. Yeah, 21, verse 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years shall he serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. People say, Hebrew servants? We had Hebrew servants? This is how our kingdom was set up. That if you owed or you had anything that you owed to a family, if you couldn't pay it back, you would have to go in as a servant. It says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So if both of you all had to go into servitude, once that was over with, you had to come out together. One couldn't leave, the other was in there. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So that's pretty much how that goes. If you decided you wanted to stay and your family was there, they would put like a ring or something through your ear to let them know that you belong to that master forever. And these are Hebrew people. It's not you being servants to the other nations. All right. Anybody have any questions on that? Hold on a minute. Let me see. I'm going to open up the mic just for and see if anybody has any questions. Just a second, because this is very important, to see and to know. All right, one moment. All right, any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Only the person who had the ring or placed in their ear, or is it the wife and the children who are also servants forever?
That's a good question. It doesn't say, because the wife and the children remain with the master. So it's him that came.
Kathy.
I'm sorry, say again?
Kathy, Dana Point, California.
Oh, okay. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
It doesn't really say. It just more or less deals with the servant himself. Camille Kai from New Jersey. So, those are the ones who had, he had to put earpiece in his ear because he would become a servant forever. He would always be that person's slave.
And there's nothing that speaks to the status of the children and the wife?
No, it just says more or less that they stay with him. Even if, look at it like this. Even if he left, he couldn't take them with him. They had to stay. So the only reason why he's staying is because he doesn't want to leave them.
Wow.
Now, if he came in with his own family, that's different. But if the servant gave him a wife to marry and to have children, they stayed with the master. Are you hungry? Are you I mean, does that sound, I mean, you understand that?
I understand. I do understand, yes.
Okay, good. And I mean, like I said, I don't want to have to leave this like this, and we'll try this until, see how it happens, if we can do this the way we usually do it without any issues, because I really don't want a repeat of what happened Thursday. So let's try it and see what happens. All right, here we go. I'm going to open up the mic again so you can see it. All right, so he said that he'll put an all, and he shall serve him forever. All right, here we go. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who have betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he have dealt deceitfully with her. Okay, someone please put your phone on mute. That's why I'm not trying to mute anybody else's phone. But if you can put your phone on mute, if you can't do it, put your area code in the chat and we'll mute your phone for you. All right, here we go. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So this is the whole standard of having multiple wives. If you have one wife and then you take on another wife, you have to keep her at the standard of living that she's accustomed to. Any questions? Heck, you guys is quiet today. Hold on.
But, Sister Ina, my question is, were the servants, were they the strangers among us, or were their own people?
They were Hebrews.
Oh, okay.
They were Hebrews. All right, he said, if he do not be free unto her, then shall she go out free without money. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death. So if you beat a man to death, you will be put to death. This is in our kingdom. This is our civil law. So that we know. And if a man lie not in wait, but Yah deliver him into his hands, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he might die. So if you come in there without a reason and you got premeditation on your mind, they kill you. Wow. He that smiteth his father or his mother shall be put to death. You are not supposed to put your hands on your parents. And how many people have done this? I know a lot of people have laid their hands on their mother or their father.
Yep.
And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. So no human trafficking is allowed either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's running rampant in my city.
Yes, it is.
So it's going to be a lot of dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Lot. Somebody has some background noise in their phone. Would you please put your phone on mute? Because if not, I'm going to have to mute the whole class, and I really don't want to have to do that. All right, here we go. And he that curses his father or his mother shall be put to death. This parent thing is really a tough thing because it doesn't say the parents have to be perfect. They can be what they be because the Most High is going to deal with them on their own merit. But you, as a child, cannot decide to take matters into your own hands. And I have a friend of mine that's a police officer, and she says that a lot of these children She said, I go on a lot of cases where these children have killed their parents for the insurance money. I said, really? She said, more often than not.
Wow.
That's what the Most High is not playing with. These are the kind of things that he's not having in our kingdom at all whatsoever. All right, he says, if a man strives together and one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, and if he rise again and walk aboard upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. So basically, if you hurt somebody and they have to be down, you got to pay for all the damages. He covers everything. He leaves nothing unturned, which is similar to the law that we have right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Quite similar. All right, it says, if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Okay? He said, notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. Any questions?
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, let's go back. If a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod and he die under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Watch. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. So if he doesn't die and he's still there, he's not going to be punished, because that's the way I understand it. But he's actually his servant. He owns the servant.
It almost sounds to me as if he lives a day or two, then, because notwithstanding if he continue a day or two, so that means
right.
But if he dies on the third day, is the owner absolved?
It seems like it, because he owns the servant. I don't know. That's a good one. I'm really not lost. Does anybody else want to expound on this?
I'm wondering what the servants in the main Hebrew isn't kill.
Yes, they are Hebrew servants. This is Exodus chapter 21.
The other thing I'm thinking about, it says that he shall be punished, but it doesn't give the punishment. But before, when it said that if a man were killed, then that's death, it didn't stipulate the status of that person either. So it seems to me that maybe if he kills the servant and he dies within that day or two, maybe he dies, even if it is his money. Because
this one up here is different, because this one says that if men strive together and one smite another with a stone. So if you're living together in the same community, or he hit him with his fist and he died not but keep his bed, he said, then if he arises again and walks abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. So if he doesn't die, then you have to pay for all damages that he lost by being down. But if you hit him, or you put your hand on him and you hit him and he died, you have to be put to death. Now, these are just regular people talking. But now we're talking about a servant in this one.
Okay, I understand that, because I'm looking back at the premeditated murder, too.
Yeah. It says, if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continues a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
Okay, so Sister Yaina?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we going, when you go back to chapter verse 19, and does that mean we can't defend ourselves if someone walks up to us and does something to us? I get it about the killing part, but if you are, say you're walking down the street, for example, and someone comes up to you, for whatever reason, and decides to hit you, and you strike back, Does that mean we can't defend ourselves? And if we do, the person that we defend ourselves against, we still have to pay for that? Is that what it's saying?
I don't think so. I don't think that you're responsible if they come at you.
Right. That's
it's
what
only if they come, if they're coming at you and you're stopping them and something happens to them, no.
Okay. Okay.
But if they come at you, or if you guys start to have an altercation.
Yeah.
Because it says if men strive together, so you're together. Okay. And one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed.
Okay.
Then you're responsible. So if there's a fight, and you guys go at it at each other, and then one hit me, if I hit you with a stone or with my fist, and I knock you down, and you down for, you have to pay for the damages.
I see. Okay. Okay. So meaning that if we strive together, that's my neighbor that I've known for a long time. We've had
right. Or if you all are having an altercation.
Okay, got it.
All of that. If you having an altercation among each other and you hit that person and they go down and they're out of work or whatever, then that's something you're responsible for.
Exactly. So what I'm saying to that person is that I am actually sorry that we had this strife between us, and so and so and so and so. And
I'm going to cover your damages, because it's like today, if you run into somebody's car and you hurt somebody, you're responsible for making sure that those damages are covered.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I got you. Okay. Thank you.
That's how he set up. He said, now, if a man strives and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished according to the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine.
Okay.
Wow. Sister Yaina, can I make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
And I almost think now I should wait to the end, but since I've interrupted, let me just say this. I attended a Passover service, and the pastor said, the man of God said, we believe in the 10 Commandments. And I was like, why did he just say the 10 Commandments? Mm-hmm. I said, in our state of captivity, as I'm listening to this is all coming, full circle for me. I'm listening, and I hear, okay, we have these civil laws, and these civil laws were from, and now I know we're talking about the servant Hebrew and the Hebrew, but it was Hebrew amongst Hebrew, how we deal with each other. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, we're unable to really apply the fullness of these laws in these captive states. Right. Because we're not even in position of ownership or any of that. However, the Most High made it so that at least here in the United States, and even in some other parts, I'll deal with that in a minute, where some of the laws of the Most High are included in the laws of this land that we're in. Mm-hmm. Still allowing us to keep it to a certain, even this one, if you should hurt a woman or something and you kill a baby, that's murder, on the books. And I've been listening to a brother in Nigeria, and I hear the accounts of the brothers and sisters there, and the way that they do things within their tribe, you could see the Bible and how they deal with one another. Mm-hmm. See, because we've been departed from our culture so long, we don't have those cultural understandings as to how things go. So one guy was talking about how they thought that another man killed their father. Right. And because they thought this man killed their father, then they wanted him to pay for all of the other kids to go to school and so forth, being that it was now his responsibility. And they were talking through this in church, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, as I was listening to them, and I'm going, man, I see to a degree the lifestyle of the people, the cultural norms. That's what you're reading about in the Bible, but because we've been separated from it, we haven't been able to make that connection.
Absolutely. And that's very true, and you're a very good point, because it makes you think twice about doing something to your brother. Because of the law and the way these laws are set up with the Most High, there's a lot of them where you will be put to death, period. You know, and when you know that's the consequence, you really fall back a little bit and you think about what you're doing before you do it. Or you should anyway.
And that's a good point, because that's kind of what the guy was getting to. That's initially what he went there for. He was like, he needs to die. He killed her dad. and the pastor got them to the point where saying, you know, to forgive him and all of this, and the church did so-and-so for the family, but said, you know, this man did not kill your father, you know, but this was what they were going through. But to your point, that's initially what they wanted, and they ended up with the church being a blessing to them.
Absolutely. All right, any other questions before we move on? And see how smoothly this goes? This is how it's supposed to be, smooth. Anybody else have any questions? All right, here we go. And verse 23, we're in Exodus chapter 21, verse 23. You can follow along with us in the Bible. It says, and if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life. Well, it says, if you kill, you're going to be killed. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. It's the Most High power. He said, all things be equal. Whatever you do, going to get done to you.
Wow.
It's almost like you reap what you sow. You know? He said, burning for burning, wood for wood, strife for strife. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. If he smite out the men's servant's tooth or his maid servant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. And if an ox or a man or a woman that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be white. Wait, somebody snoring or something?
Somebody sleep?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I think somebody's playing on the phone.
Almost think it's better to mute us.
Yeah, I don't want to have to do that. But I'll just do this. Let's do that. All right. We're going to move on. Okay, let's open up the call back again. Because we had some issues Thursday night, and I really don't want to have to go there, but, you know, I want our class to go as smooth as possible. And I'm trying not to lock the class out because people come in at different times. So, you know, but I will if it comes to that, because we're going to have a decent class today. You know, I will do that if I have to. Okay, here we go. Okay. Still doing it.
It's still there.
See who this is.
Wow.
Hold on, I think I got it. All right. All right. Here we go. I think I got it. Hold your horses. Yep, I think I got it. All right, here we go. Now, if we hear it again, we'll just keep trying till we get it right. All righty, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, so we heard about the ox. It says, but if the ox were wont to push with his horns in time past, and it has been testified to his owner, and he has not kept him in, but that he has killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. So they knew he was aggressive, and it was testified that this animal was aggressive, and they still let him come on, they still let him loose, and he killed a man or a woman, you know. They said kill the ox, and his owner also shall be put to death. And it's like the dogs today. It's so many dogs out here that maul these children because they're being trained to be aggressive. And they are being trained to be evil, and then the owners don't watch them and let them roam the street, and then they eat up, they chewing on these kids' faces and stuff. If you had this going on in our kingdom, you would be put to death. Any questions? You guys still there? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
We're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
It says, if there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. So he's been talking about kidnapping. Whether he have gore a son or have gore a daughter, according to this judgment, it shall be done unto him. Watch. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. If a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. In other words, if you kill him, it's yours. You're going to have to pay the man for him. And if one man's ox hurt another, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also shall they divide. You see how equal Yah is about this law, about this civil law, how we treat each other? Or if it be known that the ox have used to push in times past, and his owner have not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and then the dead ox shall be his own. All right, any questions before we move on to Exodus chapter 22? All right, here we go. Exodus chapter 22, verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. So if you get caught stealing, and you can't make full restitution, then guess what you become? A servant. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or a vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his breast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. Somebody done took it. They're going to be like, okay, now you tell me his stuff gone, who took it? Because somebody took it, and you can't find the thief, then you're going to be responsible for bringing it back. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. So this is something we don't have in our society today. We don't pay no double. Well, it don't seem like it anyway. It said, if a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be burned or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Most High be between them both, that he have not put his hand to his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. He said, if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, and he shall not make it good, for it be a hiring thing, and it came for his hire. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. And that is where a lot of the Israelites believe that the having of the sex confirms the marriage between the man and the woman. Any questions? Okay, we'll keep going. If her father utterly refuses to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of a virgin. Somebody said, yes, it's a far cry from the way we live in today, isn't it? Some people be married to a whole bunch of people.
True.
It said, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Somebody tell me, what is a witch?
Person who actually does not just witchcraft, but spells.
And where did they get it from?
I don't know.
The angels.
Somebody say where now?
The angels.
Which angels? Because you have to assume these people don't know
fallen
anything.
Angels.
Fallen angels.
Fallen angels.
Fallen angels came down and taught who?
Man.
The women.
They taught the women how to cast spells and how to do things, which is now called witchcraft. That's where we get it from. And watch. Whosoever lieth with the beast shall surely be put to death. Did anybody go on Google and check their state to see whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor? Because we talked about this last week. Do me a favor. I know you all are from all over the place. Google it now and ask, is bestiality against the law in your state? I'm curious to hear. And then just tell me what state you are from and what it says. Because I know in the state of Ohio it's supposed to be a misdemeanor. But the fact that it's even on the books says a lot.
Okay, I checked Texas.
Might check Texas, somebody check North Carolina, Pittsburgh, or wherever you're from. Just Google it and see if bestiality is against the law in the state where you are.
It is not illegal in Texas.
It is not illegal. Wow. Wow. Mael?
I'm still looking.
Okay, just Google and ask Google, is bestiality illegal in the state of wherever you're from?
I'm backing up.
Okay, in red we got.
Say again?
They have a whole map of who's legal and who's not. So most of the things.
Oh, okay. Now, does it determine whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony?
Oh no, it doesn't go in there.
Because the fact that they have it on the books, period, says a lot about the culture. It says, "He that sacrifices unto any god, save unto the Most High only, shall utterly be destroyed." Thou shalt neither vex a stranger, watch it, nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Now, when they mean stranger, do they mean heathen or do they mean us?
Stranger. Whoever the stranger is among you.
Okay.
Whoever it is. You're not supposed to vex or oppress, because I just read today, there will be one law in the land for everybody. It's going to be like the one world government once we go back and be in control again. You're going to follow y'all's law no matter what country you're from.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say something regarding the bestiality?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking here. It says 42 states made bestiality a crime, while Hawaii, Kentucky, Nevada, New Mexico, Vermont, West Virginia, Wyoming, and Texas are the only states that had no direct ban for sexual contact with an animal. This was as of March 31st of 2017.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Montana is a felony.
That's crucial.
Okay, let me see. Okay.
That's crucial. I mean, really. And guess what? It's done very widely now. People doing a lot of it. They're doing a lot of it. They really are. You'd be surprised.
Sister Ina, in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes, ma'am.
Bestiality, I said in the state of Pennsylvania, bestiality is a misdemeanor.
Yeah. So you basically going to get a fine and get slapped on the wrist if you get caught.
Yeah, that's just it.
Because somebody got to catch you doing it and have proof that you're doing it before you, and you're going to get a fine. You know?
Hello?
And then they talk about make America great again, and it's like, really? I mean, really, where do you start? With that kind of stuff going on. And these are the things that the Most High talks about us doing that he does not want us to do in these lands. These are the practices that he does not want us to practice while we in these lands.
Most of us should know better.
I would think you would if you know, I mean, really, you know that's right, sis, for real.
Okay.
When you get to the point where it isn't even a thought in your mind, you ought to be somewhere rebuking and rebutting.
Hello.
But to go all the way through to the act, no, I can't see it. A nasty animal? Mm-mm. Your mind got to be totally somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's on the books, somebody thought about it. The fact that they made it a law, a penalty for it, somebody was doing it.
Okay. Well, it's demonic. The fallen angels were having relationships with animals, and that's where that spirit came from. So everything that they did it's in the different people, because that's not something that comes to anybody's mind. There's a spirit or something behind it. That's just not a natural thought for people that don't have that spirit. Just like a lot of these perversions, if that's just not in you, that's just not something that you think about. That's demonic.
But these laws are for Hebrew. They're not for them. They can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about. You saying? Oh Lord. Well,
these laws are for us. They're not for them. They can eat pork. They can do those things. That's why he's telling us not to do them.
That's right. He said these are the things that they did in the lands where you came from. Don't do what they do. Mm-hmm. He said because he hates them. And he hates those people that was doing those things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and that's where they get it from. Those behaviors of the fallen angels is where it came from.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's what some of us is doing it in this captivity.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I can tell you, Yaina, is that Oklahoma, bestiality, I'm looking at it, it's a felony.
Wow.
It's a felony. And only in 4 states, Wyoming, New Mexico, Kentucky, and West Virginia, I think that's what it is, bestiality is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Oklahoma,
And you know what? I heard a YouTube thing one time about, and one of the people of the other nations was talking about this military ship that was docking somewhere near Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that. And instead of the men getting off the boat, because you don't know how they let them have a weekend off the party and do what they do, the government made a deal with the captain or whoever it was that was on the ship. You leave your men on the boat, and we'll send sheep up in there, and they can do whatever they need to do with the sheep.
Wow. Oh.
No. Because we don't want them sleeping with our women.
Oh, my goodness. That's low down. That's what we think as men.
Of the men of America. They didn't want the American men coming off the whatever the ship or wherever they was sleeping with their women, so they sent sheep up in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're saying you so low, let me send you what you equal to. Oh,
yeah. Oh. Crucial. All right, here we go. Verse 22, it says, Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Most High serious about that widow and that the fatherless children. And you know what? They just selling children like children is a piece of meat. They got pedophile rings and children is coming up missing. They disappearing. You think he ain't going to come through and tear this place up?
Yep. Well, sit in that today. What chapter or scripture and verse are you, please?
I think I'm in Exodus chapter 22. Verse 24. Did I say that, you guys? Let me make sure, because I know I just came out of 21. Hold on just a minute, and I'll let you know. But I know it's verse 24.
Yes, 22.
22 and 24. Yeah.
All right.
And they just selling kids like kids is a commodity. It's a hot commodity now. Yep. They selling them into sex slaves and all kind of stuff.
Did y'all hear about the family? It was two Edomite women. They were perverted, and they adopted children. Most of them were Israelites, and they said that they were abusing these children. And then I guess once it caught on that one child went to some neighbors and told them what was happening, and next thing you know, they were off a cliff somewhere.
I didn't know. You know what? They didn't get into the story on the news feed that I had, because they played it up like they were just missing. They didn't know what happened. The car went off the cliff. They didn't say that the children. But let me tell you something.
Wow.
When I used to be a foster parent, they wouldn't let us take care of Caucasian children. But they would, in a hurry, put our children with the Caucasian families.
That's right. That's right. But see, the rest of the story is, at least the news caption I caught, it says that when they first moved to this new location, I guess in the state of Washington, one of the girls went to the neighbor's house that night at about 1:30 a.m. saying that they were abusing her, and said the next day the whole family showed up at their house to apologize. Okay? But then the young man who they had on TV that hugged the cop during the demonstration for that killing in Ferguson, that was a news caption, him hugging the cop, but say he showed up at a neighbor's house also in this new location in Washington and complained that they were being punished, and as a result, they were not getting any food to eat. And he asked that she not tell their adopted moms that he had been there, and if she could put a food box by the fence somewhere, he would get it. And you know, I think there was something obviously going on that those kids were being, abused like this, being starved, to death and physically abused. But they had nothing but good things to say about these kids.
I know it. I didn't even think I thought it was a car accident or something. I didn't even think it was anything else other than that. Now, were these two women, were they of the LGBT community?
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And this is a problem that's a mental condition. I don't care who says what about it. And there's something about them wanting to adopt these children and take these children to assume that need to have a family. But it's very abusive. This is what happens, and they don't normally highlight what happens in these homes with these children. And a lot of the times they're our children. This is what's happening behind the scenes, and how many times do people have to cry out before they get help and get out of these conditions? And this is another reason why sin is destroying us, because these families don't have their children, and they have all these other kind of weirdos with their kids who are doing who knows what to them.
That's why they kept it hush-hush, because they didn't want any backlash to be on the LGBT community adopting children. That's why they kept it hush-hush. But they didn't show that part. I didn't see it at all.
Right, and this is at the expense of those children. This should be all over the place, and it's not.
Yeah.
It should be on the news. But to your point, it's so that the community does not have a negative or have any backlash associated with them. There is something wrong with that. There's a mental condition there, and now they have these children in their possession. And that is something that I pray about a lot, because we just don't know what's happening to these kids. But this is another reason why Israel got to get their act together. You're losing your kids, and they're going into these homes, and who knows what's happening to them.
Yeah. Yes, true. Well, bless you for praying for them, because I know I be crying out all the time when I hear about all these atrocities taking place.
And see, my thing is this: if you want to adopt children, adopt your own children.
Yeah, there you go, because they're full of it.
Leave our children alone. That's why when we leave, my prayer is let us take our children with us. Leave our children alone, because they had about how many kids did they have? About 6.
6.
Goodness. And they begging for food.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And they put this beautiful picture up on the news with all of them with the same T-shirts on, and they hugging and smiling. And, you know, it's just an atrocity how when something happens with us, it's all over the news. They profile whether we have a criminal record or not. Oh, it's big news. It's something like this happened, you don't even hardly hear about it.
Right.
If you guys had not have said that, I didn't even know, because I saw the article on the news feed, but they did not go into no detail about anything like that at all whatsoever.
Yep.
Does anyone know about the article so I can look it up and look at that too?
Yeah, if you just go to if you just go on the internet, you know how MSNBC, all those other news come up. It's one of the news stories. Just type in foster kids or adopted children killed or something like that. And the story was all over the place at the end of yesterday and Thursday.
But you know about 3 of the kids supposed to be missing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Those in the water. That's right. And they can't find them.
I say check the house.
I don't know.
They know where to find them.
Check the basement. That's it.
Really?
They're gone.
So the Most High does not play when it comes to messing with fatherless children. So guess what? Everybody that's doing that is going to pay. They're going to pay.
They need to.
Yeah, and I said that's why they killed them, because now that it's out, what they've been doing, they've said, you know what, we all going to go. I think that's what happened.
Probably.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do for the children that are listening, or for anybody who knows children that are going through anything like that, don't go to the neighbors. Call the police. When you go to school, if there's anything going on in your household, call the authorities. They have caseworkers at the schools. Call the police and tell them what's going on, because they just took another white family had about 6 or 7 of their own kids. They rescued all those kids. They put those kids in child protective services. Those kids, and they arrested the parents and everything. But then ours get driven over a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Exactly.
you referring to, Yaina, the one that had 13 kids?
Yes, they saved all of those children.
Yes, they saved every last one of them.
Yep. They sure did.
Man, look, that just burns me. I have a thing when it comes to kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. I'm like, God, you know, because they're helpless. They can't help themselves.
That's right.
Right.
And see, what they did was they have like sanctuaries where if you have a baby and you don't want it, you know, which is a good thing, I think. You know, they tell you don't kill the baby. You can, especially here, if you don't want the baby, just drop the baby off at this particular hospital or the church or whatever. No question.
I don't trust them.
You know, but that's what I was getting ready to say.
I don't trust them because they're taking our children and doing whatever they desire with them because of who they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they want that power.
That's right.
Well, you know what? It's been troubling me, and maybe you all may be onto something here with all these Caucasian entertainers or actors and actors adopting our children, like Angelina Jolie and Madonna. I'm willing to bet you they out there doing something to those children because none of them seem to look happy.
Nope, they sure don't. Their mamas and daddies ain't happy, so how they going to be happy? Their lives is a mess. Yeah, and you know when it comes to realize it don't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how much prestige you have, these people don't look happy. No. Their houses is mansions, beautiful houses, beautiful cars. They can buy anything they want to, but they going through the same stuff everybody else is going through, if not worse.
Right, exactly.
So this is what the Most High said. He will kill you. He said, my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children shall be fatherless. That's crucial.
Okay.
He said, watch what he says. He said, we're Exodus 22, verse 25. Somebody put your phone on mute. I can hear the background noise. It says, if thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usury, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. So no interest payments. They broke that law 50 million times going west and Sunday. If thou at all take away thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the rulers of thy people. That's what I'm telling y'all, you're going to have to, you know what, I'm so glad we having this conversation. Because we have had many calls where people have called President Trump an idiot. You better stop doing that. Because that's not our call to make. The Most High put him in office. Now, whatever he is or whatever he isn't, that's between him and the Most High Yah. We are not in a position to call nobody stupid or idiots or none of that.
That's right, because all power is the Most High put him there.
That's what I'm saying. And, you know, we looking at these people, these Israelites supposed to know better. And they put their mouths on these leaders, and it's like, you better stop doing that for real. He said, thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the rulers of thy people. So you couldn't talk about the king. You're not going to be, he said, I rule in the kingdom of men. In Daniel chapter 4, I put up whomsoever I will, that men may know that I run this. I rule in the kingdom of men. And I think about Daniel all the time because, you know, I try to read the scriptures with the understanding of what I was trying to do. And when you read about Daniel and how he was with not one king, but three of them, he had a very high position. He was the advisor to the king. And I'm sure that the regular Israelites didn't like Nebuchadnezzar, but what if Daniel was up in there talking about, man, he an idiot, he a straight idiot, he a this, he a that. They would have cut his head off. So we have to watch what we say. You know what I'm saying? Even though you may not like it, you know, and you may not like him, I have a lot of people that call me, and they're so upset with everything that this man is doing, everything that this man has done. And I have to tell them all the time, he's in place because the Most High put him in place. You may not understand the plan that the Most High has for him to be there, but all things work together for the good to them who love y'all and are called according to his purpose. It's going to work out for our good, whatever it is that he's doing. So that's just a sidebar. We have to watch what we say. Because he is the leader right now. You know, and then, you know, in the same way when Obama was in office, boy, they talked about him like a dog. They talked about his wife being a man. They talked about, the people of the other nations said all kind of wicked things. Don't pay. Don't pay for that. All right, here we go. Watch what he said. He said, thou shalt not delay the offer of the first of thy ripe fruit, of thy liquors. The firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. So all of the first fruit belongs to the Most High. From the fruit to the liquors to the firstborn of thy sons or daughters. Likewise shalt thou do this with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it me. There's that 8th day again. Any questions? All right, he said, and ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beast in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. All right, any questions? We moving right along. I know we won't be able to do all of this because it's way more than this, but, you know, just so that you guys have an idea of where he is. Now we're in Exodus chapter 31. And the Most High spake unto Moshe, saying, this is verse 1, Exodus 31, verse 1. Verse 2, see, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah. And I have filled him with the spirit of Yah, in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. Now, I could take this to a whole nother level because we know that wisdom is a she. And she's the one that goes out and gives knowledge. So he gave these men the spirit of wisdom, and she came in and showed them how to do certain things. He says to devise cunning works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in cutting of stones to set them, and in carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of, Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. And in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom. There she go again. That they may make all that I have commanded thee. The tabernacle of the congregation, verse 7. And the ark of the testimony, the mercy seat that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and the table and his furniture, and the pure candlestick with all his furniture, and the altar of incense, verse 9. And the altar of burnt offerings with all his furniture, and the laver and his wood, and the cloths of service, and the holy garments for Aharon the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest office. She showed them how to do all this. That's why they got to leave this girl spirit alone, because that is a female energy that the Most High sent to give instructions on how to put this thing together. Watch. And the anointing oil, and sweet incense for the holy place, according to all that I have commanded thee, shall they do. Watch this. Watch what he says. We're going to start at verse 12. And the Most High spake unto Moshe, saying, speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, verily my Sabbath ye shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Most High that doeth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth it shall surely be put to death. And whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, and the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Most High. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Watch, he said, wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generation for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moshe, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tablets of testimony, tables of stone written with the finger of Yah. Any questions at all about the Sabbath day or anything?
Yes. Yaina.
Yes, ma'am.
If we have the work, what we can and cannot do on the Sabbath, can you give me a short overview of what it means for no servile work? Now, I know I can't cut my grass. I know I can't go out there and do, because I'm retired. So I don't have to do things, and I do keep the Sabbath. That's what I'm doing today. But what I'm asking about is, for instance, I'm afraid to, when my son comes over and we have our Sabbath, eating and feasting and all of that, I'm almost afraid to throw things in the trash. Now, mind you, I have a sink, and I put things in the sink until the end of the day. In other words, I know I don't go outside and pick up, like if a piece of trash blows across the yard. I don't go out and pick it up. I just leave it until sundown. So I don't want to be extreme. All right. But I'm trying to understand because work is work. In other words, if I wanted to make a piece of toast for the Sabbath, I would work. Now, I've also heard that if you cut something with a knife, now, I don't know if that's a Jewish thing. That's why I said Jewish. I don't know if that's a Jewish thing or, you hear so much. And I'm just now learning. I'm new at it too, about a year and a half. So I am, every Sabbath, I think I'm getting better. But at the same time, what is defined as? Because when I finish with a spoon, I lay it in the sink. I don't think anything's wrong with that. I don't think y'all expects you to throw it on the floor or leave it where it is. As long as you don't wash any dishes or anything like that until the sun goes down. You don't cook anything until the sun goes down. Prepare. What I usually do is try to prepare the things the night. Somebody please put your phone on mute. It's a lot of noise. I usually prepare things the night before so that I will have something to eat, not only for the Sabbath, but I used to heat things up. I don't even do that anymore. I have something that I cook that I put together that's cold, and I eat that. My son is here too with me, so sometimes he does, But I don't heat up anything. I don't put anything in the microwave. I don't do any of that until after the sun goes down. Okay. At some point we were using a microwave on the Sabbath day, But for me, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just saying me. I don't. Okay. Like I said, whatever I prepare the night before. When it comes to throwing things in the trash, when I drink my water bottles or the things like that, I just leave them where they sit until the sun goes down. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. And that's if I have a water bottle, of course, I just leave it wherever I am. Where I won't trip over it or anything like that, because he doesn't want you to do that. But I just wondered because, like I said, I don't want to be, you can go to the extreme and not know that you're going. So it's good to bounce it off for me, to bounce it off of someone else. So I appreciate it. I agree with you. And there's a lot of things like you still shower, you still clean yourself up and make sure you're clean and all that kind of stuff. And do all that kind of stuff. Now, what's good, though, like on Friday, now that the days are longer, you have more time when you come home from work before the sun goes down, because the sun goes down at 8 o'clock here. So
So I get off at 4:30. So between 4:30 and 8 o'clock, I'm getting everything, the last finishing touches that I didn't get a chance to do.
Exactly.
Okay. And then I'm good. When I get ready to go into my Sabbath and do what I do, everything is prepared, So you do the best you can, because it wasn't always like this. Like I said, me and my sister used to go out and eat every Sabbath and had people waiting on us. That's something that he doesn't want you to do because he doesn't want you to have anybody else working either.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
guess what? I'm sorry. Hold on just a minute. The grass man can't come on Sunday because when I had my house, I had a lawn care service who used to take care of my yard, and you can't have them working on Saturday either.
Exactly. Exactly. And see,
I heard somebody say something. Who was that talking?
Yeah, I was going to ask. So since the law is not given to them, they can't work for you on your
No, he said don't even have no one working for you.
Strangers, no nothing.
Nobody gets that's the day. He doesn't even want you to have them working.
Right.
Okay. So now, real quick now, do you need to prepare your meal for Saturday before the sun goes down on Friday?
Well, that's what I usually do. I have mine prepared before, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you have time, some people go get meals. You can buy meals as long as the sun isn't down and you're not serving, you're not buying anything or anything like that. You can go buy you something just so long as when you get in the house and the sun is down, all of that stops.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know this is new for everybody. I know this is, especially coming out of Christianity. It's new.
Yeah,
and you all, we was taught something, but then even in Christianity, my grandmother used to be the same way about Sunday. That was the Sabbath. That's what they taught. You didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't watch no TV. You didn't do nothing.
Oh, you didn't do anything, yeah?
You sure didn't. You ate dinner. She cooked it Saturday night, which it was all backwards. But she cooked it Saturday night and Sunday when she went to church and came home, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
And you sat down and you was quiet. You didn't even do nothing. It's like, wow, why we got to just sit here? Yes, ma'am. Somebody say hello.
Yes, hi. I hope I'm not too loud.
No, you're not.
My name is Charmaine. I've been listening to your radio blogs on YouTube, and this is my first conference call to actually hear this. And I'd like to first of all say thank you for having this because I had very little information upon being, I guess, awakened gradually. That's a long story within itself. I'll get to some other time next time. However, I have a question. Prior to my being awakened, my job schedule has changed to Saturdays. And now I'm stuck with working on Saturdays. But I try my best to, sorry for any background noise, I'm trying my best to observe it. Like, I don't cook on, like, that Nightfall Friday and stuff until the end of the Sabbath, Saturday. I'm more so trying to prepare stuff beforehand, like you said, like even dry snacks like nuts, berries, and all that stuff to get me through the job on Saturday. And just pretty much I'm able to listen to your programs and other programs in regards to that. But I don't know. I don't think I can change my schedule at this point.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I mean, the most I do is pray to the Most High that He parts before every day I have to work on the Sabbath.
Right.
But I try as much as I can done. I'm still learning. Like even with the Passover, it was some stuff that I missed that I thought did not have leavening agents, and now I have to give it away. But it's okay. I'd rather just give it away, than to, be disobedient, even though I missed it,
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you mean you missed it? What are you talking about?
Like stuff like pasta. I didn't even really realize that this stuff had some kind of leavening agent. And I got most of the stuff that I had out of my house, but for some reason.
Are you talking about for the Feast of Unleavened Bread?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We haven't had our Passover yet. We're doing that on April the 9th. So, yeah, you know, we learn, we do better. We learn as we do better. Because I missed a couple of things too one year. I did.
Yeah, because I noticed. I had everything, just about everything, set up, and if I'm correct, is Passover supposed to be on the new moon? Because yesterday I had briefly went out because one of my plant pots crashed to the ground. And I noticed that it was a full moon. I'm like, whoa, I thought it was supposed to be like a new moon. But they said that it will be kind of off. I'm not even sure.
Let me say this. While we're in captivity, we do the best we can. Okay? Yeah. When it pertains to your job, the Most High knows that we're in captivity, and there's a lot of people that have to work on the Sabbath day. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that have to work on the Sabbath day. They just do. And while we're in this captivity, He knows where He put us, and He knows what we have to do, because these are the jobs that we have. And when it comes to the new moon or how we do the best we can with where we are. And because some people had it in March, while we having ours in April, everybody is calculating it different, and that's where the conflict comes in a lot of times with Israel when it comes to us all doing it together. And until we get in one place where the Most High can say, okay, this is how I want it done, then we're going to do things different. So don't beat yourself up. You know what I'm saying? He knows where we are. And He knows what we're doing. So we just have to do it to the best of our ability where we are. Now, I wouldn't advise anybody to take a job and they know that they're not supposed to work on the Sabbath just to be able to have one. I wouldn't advise that. Because if you already had the job and you work in the job and you know that the Most High doesn't want you to work on the Sabbath and you can kind of control that, yes. But no, you know what I'm saying? So don't beat yourself up with it. Do the best you can, and as you start to grow and learn, you'll get better with it. Hopefully we don't have that many more left here.
I know. Yeah, because my schedule just changed, like maybe a month or so prior to me even being awakened. I was like, oh, wow. And
right.
I'm going to say, well, the most I can do is pray for the Most High's forgiveness. And as far as the sponsor thing, I was like, how did I miss this? Because I took everything out. I literally took, and it took me like that Thursday night to take everything out, and I missed this, and I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, okay. So
I've done that before, too. So what I usually do is I don't buy anything with leaven in it for 2 weeks out before. Like no flour, nothing that has leaven in it. I don't even bring it in the house, period. And then some people, if you have a storage bin or something like that for things that don't go bad, you can take it and put it in there as long as it's not in your dwelling where you live in.
Right.
Yeah. This was stuff that was brought, that was purchased, but I never got a chance to use it, and for some reason. And then I'm still trying to figure out as far as rice.
Well, you know what you do is, this is what I would suggest this next time. Just get a tub, one of those big tubs. You can buy them at Walmart for like $7, $8. And if you ever get caught like that again, the stuff, especially stuff that's not open, just put it in the tub and set it outside of the house.
Right.
Okay.
And also, sister, the one that is worried about what you have in your house, go online, and it will tell you. All you have to look up is what has products with unleavened in it, or leaven in it. Sorry.
Okay.
All you have to do is go and look it up. Even natural flavors is associated with leaven. I didn't know that last year.
Are you serious?
I am very serious. Look it up. Look it up. As a matter of, I was going to say I'll send you the list. There is a list, and you can go online. It will tell you exactly what has leaven in it. Even your cheeses. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what you do, sis. Why don't you email it to me?
Okay.
For the Yehudah project, and then she can email me, and I'll send it to her.
I will.
I'd like to ask a question. What is leaven?
It says Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. He says, "It shall rise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the word of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Most High your Elohim prove you to know whether ye love the Most High your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. Ye shall walk after the Most High your Elohim and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him." That's what he says. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Most High your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Most High thy Elohim command thee to walk in, so shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. So he said, if somebody come to you and say, guess what's going on? They got signs and wonders. We're going to serve Baal. And you're supposed to kill them when we get in our own land. Not now, when we get in our own land. This is all for when we're in our own land for the most part. Because some of this stuff we can't keep, because you do something to somebody over here, you're going to jail. They have their own land, their own laws over here. It says, if thy brother or the son of thy mother or thy son or thy daughter or the wife of thy bosom or thy friend, which is as thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods which thou hast not known, thou or thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. All right. But thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of the people. So you got to be the first one to do it. It says, thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Most High thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this thing is among you. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Most High thy God has given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their cities, saying, let us go and serve other gods which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently. And behold, if it be true, and the thing certain, that such abominations is wrought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the streets thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city. And all the spoil thereof, every whit, for the Most High thy Elohim, and it shall be in heap forever. It shall not be built again. He said, and there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Most High may turn from the fierceness of his anger. Hold on, here we go. And show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee as he has shown unto thy fathers. When thou hast hearkened to the voice of the Most High thy Elohim, to keep all of his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, the Most High thy Elohim. All right, any questions? Any questions in the chat, Sister Sanaya? And she might have her phone on mute.
No, mostly, yeah. I was on mute. Mostly comments, Sister Yaina.
Okay. You want to read them?
Okay. Well, we're going to pass them. They were talking about bestiality at that point. I can read it.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Rachel says,
Go ahead.
Mr. Rachel says Alabama, Hawaii, Kentucky, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Ohio, Texas, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming, there are no laws against bestiality in those particular states. And Taria Perry says it's legal to perform certain forms of oral sex between humans and animals in Florida.
Say that again?
It's legal to perform certain forms of oral sex between humans and animals in Florida.
Wow.
Let them have it.
That is wicked. Do you hear me?
I mean, totally. Okay, one guest says, bestiality became illegal in Nevada in October 2017. It's a gross misdemeanor if the animal is not seriously harmed or killed. Otherwise, it is a felony.
Wow. And you think the Most High ain't getting ready to come and take this down?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, one guest says State Representative Carol Alvarado, the author of Texas Bill 1087, told the Texas Tribune Friday that in the state's current laws, there is nothing in the law that protects animals from sexual abuse.
Because who would think to do something like that? Who does that?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, and the thing is, give me full disclosure. Because if I meet you, I want to definitely know that. Can you imagine marrying somebody and then find out later that he done been having sex with his dog?
Oh, wow. Okay, she goes on to say, Alvarado said the state law would protect children from pedophiles and sexual violence due to the results of the sexual offense study in 2008, which found that child sex abuse was higher if the perpetrator had previous relations with an animal.
Wow. That is just too damn awesome.
Another guest said in Illinois it is a felony for bestiality.
If you catch them, if they get caught.
Right.
Can you imagine the germs? Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's move on because that's just too much right there. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 17, and this will probably be our last one for the day because I wanted to give us a chance to talk before 5:30. Here we go. It says, Deuteronomy 17, chapter 1. It says, thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Most High thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any ill-favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Most High thy Elohim. It says, if there be found among you within any of thy gates which the Most High has given thee, watch what he says, man or woman that has wrought wickedness in the sight of the Most High thy Elohim in transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods or worshiped them, either the moon, the sun, or the moon, or any host of heaven, which I have not commanded. So that killed a whole bunch of folks because most of Hollywood is sun worshipers. The Muslims worship them. Their symbol is the moon. Watch what he say. Watch. He says, and it be told thee, thou hast heard of it and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Watch what he says. Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which has committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. Watch. This is in the New Testament too. He said, at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. So you got to have 2 or 3 people that's done seen this thing. Watch. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. Any questions?
Where did you just read that from, please?
That's Deuteronomy chapter 17. That's verse 6 and 7.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 17, verse 6 and 7. He said, if there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Most High thy Elohim shall choose, and thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Most High shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. So whatever they come up with, you got to do it. And thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there, before the Most High thy Elohim, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall fear and do no more presumptuously. When thou art come unto the land which the Most High thy Elohim giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy Elohim shall choose. So this is not a democracy. You don't get to vote and decide who's going to be king. He is in control of who he puts up. Watch. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not, it says, but he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Most High has said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book, out of that which is before the priests, the Levites. It shall be with him, and he shall read therein in all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Most High, his Elohim, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he not turn aside from the commandment, to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. Any questions at all whatsoever? I think we're going to stop it here, because I want to give everybody an opportunity to say something if you have something that you would like to say. These, like I said, when we get into these laws, these things are very important. We will find out that a lot of these things that we're dealing with here today, they have tried to put them in the laws that we are living in today, but we have to make sure that we understand that these are the civil laws. These are what they consider civil laws. This is what's going to make sure that we treat each other appropriately. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I would just like to make a correction. Our Passover is going to be April the 13th at even. If you'd like to join it with us, we will be on this phone number. Stay tuned. We'll probably be meeting around 8:30 or 8:45 on that Friday night to start it off, and then meet again at the end even on that Saturday to start going into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We hope that you have enjoyed this particular lesson, the civil laws. We will be doing part 2 this upcoming Shabbat, and we hope that these have helped you to understand who we are as a nation and how we work to govern ourselves. Thank you so much for joining us again. We hope to see you tomorrow or on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For our Blog Talk Radio show, the phone number is 718-664-9551. Shalom, shalom, everyone.